Hey everyone, Livy here, back with another video. So let me start by saying I know if you've been around my channel for a while, I know I talked about this deck in the past. Um, Mainly when I was first starting my channel, I had a video called Help Me Choose, and I was trying to decide between this deck and the Practical Magic Tarot. Funny enough, I did a poll like you guys decided, and I was also talking about like the differences between the two. And originally, I just went with Practical Magic, which is, by the way, great. Like, I would never, ever, 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 ever now get rid of that deck. But the problem became that I I could never put this deck out of my mind completely. That was my issue. I would see this deck a lot. A lot of people on TarotTube have this deck, and I couldn't get it out of my head that I needed to own this deck. I don't know why. So when the chance presented itself that I could get a copy, and by the way, this is a used copy, but still, when the chance presented itself for me to get a copy of this deck, I decided, you know what? Yeah, I am. I think it's time. I keep thinking about this deck, and I think I will regret it if I don't at least get it and try it out. Okay. So this is the Lioness Oracle Tarot. It is it's a 78 card deck with guidebook included, created in Oakland, California, which is really close to me, by the way, by Alejandra Leon of the Lioness Oracle. So this deck, there's a couple reasons why I guess it would never leave my mind. Well, one, as you saw, the artist is local, actually lives, in Oakland, not too far. The other is that, as you see, this motif is it's a very Leo-like deck. That's what a lot of people have said. It's very Leo. I don't agree 100%, and I'll eventually get to that in a different video. Not right now. Not the time to talk about it right now. But at the same time, it is usually like this very stereotypical idea of Leo. And I don't know. It's just, I guess the spacey rose imagery is thing that, I don't know, I vibe with. And also, the reason why I could never stop thinking about this deck is that I actually have gotten a reading with this deck before. The only professional, like more professional tarot reading I've ever gotten was from somebody who was actually using this deck to read with. And it was a very powerful reading. So I guess I kept thinking about it, and I decided, you know what? It's kind of time. If you get this deck, as you can see, it's very rose-centric up in there. And this is big, by the way. So one of the things I was worried about and why I didn't want to get this deck originally is that this deck is very big. Like, this is probably one of the biggest tarots I have now. It doesn't look like it because I'm like really close up on camera, but like, let me just show you. Okay, when I go like this is inside the box, by the way, and I move even the guidebook away, right? I'll get to this, but if you just look objectively at the cards, okay, it's fat. This is a fat deck. It's also wide. And, okay, you guys can never tell I have small hands, but look at how much, okay, my hands can't even really fit around the deck. This is how you know. Like, it fits here, but I can't hold it comfortably. See, I'm, like, floating off into ether because I can't get a grip on it. And I'm, like, trying, but it's, like, hurting. Look at my fingers are literally hurting to try to hold this deck. So that's the one reason why I know initially I kind of avoided it, because it's like, what the heck, why why was this deck created to be so big? And you know what I think what tricked me too, oh, and it has like these nice, I do love the edgings though, so that's my problem, is like, I really like this. It's like a matte gold, and it's like slightly sparkly. I would consider trimming this, because there's like a border here that you could theoretically get rid of. but I don't want to get rid of the nice like edging. I do like the edging, so I'm in a kerfuffle with that. So the deck is bigger. It is bigger. Like, I have small hands, and basically to hold this deck okay, I'd have to hold this in both my hands because it's just big. It's massive. So yeah, not great for people with small hands. Just gonna be honest there. I struggle here. It feels very heavy in my hands. But I don't want this to be, because so many people have done videos about this deck. And by the way, these are the backs. I do love the backs. So many people have done videos on this deck. So I don't want this to go on too long. I just want to kind of flip through it for myself and see which of these cards like resonates the most with me. Does it feel like, I don't know, Leo-like? Because I am a Leo. Double Leo, actually, which is the funniest thing in the world because I don't feel like I act or am. And by the way, you might be thinking, like, how did this deck also come out? Well, a lot of this deck was inspired by the fact that the artist, unfortunately, had her dad die, and I think he was also a Leo. So she was having a lot of thoughts and feelings about it. So she created this deck. But this is the guidebook that it comes with. It does a lot of in-depth thing about like setting yourself up for a tarot reading, which is pretty cool. Tips for centering, shielding, grounding, you know, numerology stuff. And then she goes into the cards. And each of the cards has the ruling planet listed. A little bit about, you know, the imagery and stuff. And then the meanings. So it's nice. And it does that for like, as you can see, she does that for every single card. The only thing I think the only thing is, yeah, there's no, if you are new to tarot and you wanted this deck, there are no readings in here, okay? You can't, you can't do readings, basically. Like, no 3-card, 4-card, typical Celtic cross. None of that is in here, just so you know. But this is the guidebook, okay? Move that over. And these are the cards. Let's actually look at them together and let's see how easy these are for me to figure out. This deck is so big. I'm trying to debate how to how to do this, but I guess it'll be like this. So in that reading, by the way, that I got, some of the cards I still remember, and I do have a picture of it somewhere on my phone. I would have to look, but my phone is being used to film, so there you go. This was actually one of them that popped up in my reading, and this actually works for the Fool. You know, the person's still jumping off a cliff. You get that vibe. You get the sense for that. The Magician. I feel like, I don't know. With this one, there probably could have been more done, but you do get all the elements, so it is what it is. I do like this High Priestess, though. Even though, I don't know, out of these two, the Empress and the High Priestess, they're kind of giving off the same energy, which is a little weird, but I don't know. But you do get some sense of mystery with this one, I guess, and the rainbow and stuff. But this Empress is pretty much just like, I don't know, what do people call it? Divine feminine energy. Yeah. But this Emperor's cute. Looks serious, looks powerful. I believe it. And I do like this High Priest, though. Something about it. I guess it's because I love owls, so I kind of like that that's included in this. But yeah, see, as you can see, even my hand, it like takes up the whole length of my hand. Oh my goodness, this deck. And I actually like the lovers a lot in this one. There's something about it, gets very to the quick of it. I don't know, for some reason I like them. I like it. And this Chariot, I do want to talk about this Chariot. This Chariot is actually really good. I like it because it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have the two stereotypical, like, different colored horses and stuff, and the person's trying to pull them apart. You still get the sense of, like, some kind of control has to be in play here because this person is literally on a magic carpet flying through the air, you know. Very Aladdin-esque vibes, but I really, at the same time, I really like this as a Chariot. Really interesting. And his strength is actually good too. You know, having to like hold back the cougar, or is it a cougar? It looks like a cougar, about lion, has to hold back their energy within the roses and a rose bush, especially, right? Like hiding in plain sight, but also like restrained because roses have thorns. It's a whole thing with this. I do like this though. The hermit. This also interestingly works for me, like her lounging out, the act of tarot and other things, the owl for wisdom. I like this. But this is where I kind of draw a complaint. Wheel of Fortune, it's just a rose. I don't know. And the same kind of with this Justice card. I feel like more could have been done with these two. Not gonna lie. It's kind of too minimal for me. Especially because this Hangman is actually like upside down in the act of contemplation, you know. This is cool. Why wasn't that same attention put to all the cards, you know? I think that's the only thing that's going to be kind of inconsistent with this. But this death, it's okay. I mean, it has like kind of the more traditional imagery with the white flower. This Temperance is really interesting though. I don't know. I really like this one. And the Devil. It's one this one I have to sit with a little bit, but it's okay. It's an okay devil. But I do like this tower, actually. I think the tower was done okay. It's like showing the destruction, but then like the almost epiphany-like vibes that the tower can give instead of just being destruction always. I think it works. Wow, sorry, this card, I'm like trying to go zoom in, but then like you don't see half the card. This is what I mean by this deck is like massive. The Star, and we have David Bowie with the third eye. Interesting, you know. But not bad. The Moon. Kind of mysterious and otherworldly. This works. Oh, and the Sun. This card also came up, I know for sure, in my reading that I got. Really interesting. This one definitely seems like a more confident Sun. And I do like that at least it's not like the naked baby on a horse kind of situation. So I'm glad. Judgment. I actually really like this Judgment. Hey, I don't know. It works for me. And then finally, the World. Now, where it gets a little more... Like some of these, like this Ace of Wands, this is okay. But it doesn't... I don't know. At the same time, like, even the 2 here is kind of more basic. 3 I kind of like, though. I like the colors going on here. I love the background. You do get the sense that they're on a journey, even if it's just a musical, spiritual one of trying to learn something new that they like. 4 Wands, kind of interesting take on it. This one at least minimal, but it shows a sense of conflict here, so this actually isn't bad either. And the Victory here. See, some of these cards are like really interesting and impactful. Even the 7, you can still see fiery conflict in the background and stuff. But some of them just feel like they need a little more to them at times. Like this 8 of Wands, I'm trying to figure out how this relates to the 8. I think the only thing I can think of is maybe the sense of movement because of all the planets. Like all the planets are here and they're constantly moving through the solar system, I guess. But you have to like stop and think a little bit for this one. 9 of Wands. And the 10. Really interesting take on the 10. I know that's like Buddha, but yeah, interesting take. The Page of Wands being the Um, the little cheetah. That's cute. But at the same time, like, even when you go to, like, this cheetah, this Knight of Wands, I don't, well, you see the music, I guess, and, is that music? It looks like something musical. Yeah. And then you see, like, some of the other things, but it doesn't show as much that it's active, unless you think that cheetahs, so since the cheetahs are very fast and go, 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 I guess you could kind of say this is Knight of Wands, but it's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. But I do think this queen works because the artistry in there, the beauty, that checks, kind of. But then this king, I'm not too sure. Like, I will say her theme is consistent. Like, there's some kind of feline energy. There's a lot of the flowers. There's still space themes. Oh, now it's easier to hold once it's like half the deck is out. But it still hurts. Ace of Cups. I do like this too. Just because they're so... Look at them. Oh, so cute. They are cute. Oh, I don't remember if... This looks very familiar. Maybe this was one of the ones by reading. I would have to look back. But this works. I mean, at least because of them. And I think this imagery, those cutouts, I think, were even used for the Guided Hand Tarot, I want to say. I think that's the same one for the Three of Cups also, which is funny. Five of Cups. Kind of see that she's pouting on the side. Oh, no, four, sorry, not the five. Because this is the five. And this, oh my goodness. It's like very melodramatic, this one. But it makes sense. I get it. Okay. Okay. This is the one card why I could not stop thinking about this deck. And it's going to sound really weird to anybody else but me. Okay. The Six of Cups was one of the cards I got in that reading. And I guess the reason why I could not stop thinking about it is because obviously, if you know anything about the Six of Cups is a card about nostalgia. And specifically in my reading, the Six of Cups came up in a place where it was telling me I need to go back to some of those like younger roots in the sense of like my interest in the things I'm doing in life, like what could bring me joy again is like going back to the things that once made me, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that. But what's so great about this card and why I guess I kept thinking about it is that this really does capture my own childhood personally. It just has like this, the beachy themes are still present, the flowers and stuff. But also these dolphins, you might think that's the weirdest freaking thing to be connected to was like remembering the dolphins, but let me explain, okay? When I was a kid, I used to be obsessed. Well, I used to be obsessed with animals, but specifically when I thought of the ocean, I was like obsessed with the idea of dolphins for some reason. I don't know why. That's like gone away more now as an adult, but like as a kid, I was just obsessed with dolphins. And specifically, I would always like try to draw them. Like if I had to draw scenes of like the beach and stuff, there would always be like a dolphin and stuff there, or the ocean. And I used to have like this little magazine thing about dolphins, and it was just a whole thing. So when I saw this card, I understood immediately, oh, this is talking about that energy I used to have as a kid for sure. And I don't know, it just tracks for me. So again, a connection no one else would make, but in this one, I don't know, it just really, it really hit. It really hit. And this one, okay, Seven of Cups. Remember, I like to see the choices. I guess you do get some sense of choices here. It's just a little scattered in that, but really interesting take on the seven. And the eight. This one is a little confusing. This would almost give like a 5 or 4 energy more than an 8, because 8 is about leaving things behind. But this doesn't read as much of that for me. I don't know. Nine of Cups. Really interesting Nine of Cups. And finally, the 10. The 10 is, I don't know, it's like you're supposed to be like happiness personified. I guess you get some sense of just people and stuff down there in the cup itself, but I don't know if this is like the ultimate like happiness for me, happily ever after kind of situation. But, So we have the Page of Cups. This Knight of Cups works though. I don't know why this one works for me, but it does. The Queen of Cups. I guess you get some sense of this. Yeah, she kind of looks dreamy in her face. I get that a little bit. And finally, the King. Oh my goodness. This is funny though. I don't know why. You notice that most of the cards in these decks are felines, but as you know, wolves are not felines. They're from dogs. They're derived from dogs and wolves themselves. So really interesting to see that the King of Cups has that wolf energy. I wouldn't have personally thought of that. But I mean, I don't know. It looks nice at least. It's just very different than what I would have expected. Okay, we have the Ace. I really like this too, though. There's something really cool about this too. I don't know. I'm digging it. And I like that this isn't, even though I don't mind the traditional like stuck through the heart imagery, I do appreciate that this is like different from that. Four of Swords. This is funny. This one also reminds me of the Guided Hand Tarot. In the sense of like trying to go away to calm down, meditate, and whatever. In this case, it's music, just like the Hermit in the Guided Hands. So that's really interesting. Five of Swords. This is not... I don't think this one's doing it for me. Too minimal to explain. Six of Swords 2. I don't know if you can fully tell that they're about to leave again. This is also tied to like the Eight of Cups, but like the Six of Swords, the actual act of leaving, and you are leaving something behind and it's final and you are moving on. I don't get that sense here as much. Unless you're like cleansing. I guess you could argue that you're cleansing away whatever you were dealing with and leaving that behind in that case. But I don't know. You have to stretch for this one. And also with this one, I don't understand. I don't understand this one. Oh, by the way, you can't... Here, let me see if it shows up. Do you guys see? There's some... I got this deck used, but it has like this really weird... I don't know what the hell the original owner was doing with this, with the deck. See how it's like faded and weird? It has like a residue. I've tried to scrape this off. I've tried to wipe it off. I've tried to do everything and it's not coming off. So I don't know what they were doing with these cards. But as you can see, they're kind of like jacked up. I don't know what they were doing with them. But they have, yeah, that weird residue. It's kind of weird. I don't know if they were... It almost seems... And see, it's on the Eight of Swords, which is okay. I actually kind of... This one's fine. The cat. I like the cat. See, it's a residue. I've tried to wipe it off. I just don't know what this is. I don't know if it was, like, taped. Maybe some of these cards were taped at some point to something. But it's really bizarre. I don't know why. I don't know why they're like that. Nine of Swords. I kind of like this. And then the 10. You get some sense of the horror from that, but I don't know. Then we have the Page of Swords. Really interesting. I love how... I'm pretty sure that... Yeah, that's from Lord of the Rings. But I really like that. Really interesting. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. And the king. Really interesting energy in all these. Oh, yeah, I recognize this one too. I'm pretty sure this one was also from my reading, but this is the Ace of Pentacles. I remember this card. I like the colors. A 2 is kind of minimal. I would have liked to see, like, I mean, you can get the sense that it's balanced, but it's just very sparse. And this one has the coins, cool, but I don't see teamwork, so I don't know. Again, my own salty takes. Anyways, 4 of Pentacles, I get it. I guess you get the sense that they're hiding behind something. Just, again, very minimally done. Same with this 5. 6 of Pentacles. Oh, I guess she's giving back. Okay. Interesting. 7. This is actually really interesting. Because the thoughts of the planting those seeds, it's showing it more as like an internal blooming. That's really cool. The 8. I guess you could say there's work that had been done to make all that. I don't know. The 9. Interesting that chests have appeared again. That I'm thinking of the Tildwick, I believe, that had the same energy. Or was that the... Yes, I think it was. 10. Legacy. I get that. Oh, I do like all the kitties. Page of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Queen. Really interesting queen. And finally, the king. Wow. So, final thoughts, I guess, is there's cards in this deck that I think do work from just a tarot craft perspective. Oh, God, let me try to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at this. I've tried to grip it, and it's like, I have to, like, almost slightly bend the cards, and I can't even get my fingers all the way around to do this. Overall, I would say that this deck, there's things that hit, and there's things I'm not sure about yet. I do think this does have, like, very, I think, what people call very stereotypical Leo energy. I don't know if it vibes 100% for me, but I do see in some ways where the artist was coming from, and, like, some that I could draw connections to. There is going to be a video sometime after this one where I talk about what I mean by stereotypical Leo energy. I don't want to reveal that right now, but it's like a tarot tag I'm going to do. And so I definitely know where this deck falls in alignment, right? With that. But yeah, this deck kind of hurts my hands, not going to lie. In that way, it might... I don't know how often I'll be pulling this out. So, and when I was doing that reading, by the way, or when I got that reading from that person, they must have really big hands, because the deck didn't seem like it was that big in their hands and on the table. But now that I have it in person, I'm like, yikes, my hands are stretching. It hurts. What the heck, you know? So, there's that. And yeah, as a result, I can still overhand. It's kind of just painful though. So yeah, if you have smaller hands, beware. You might not want this. But if you are also someone who wants to bring, I guess, more stereotypical Leo energy into your life, you might want to get this one while you can, okay? Anyways, this was supposed to be quicker than this. So thank you all for watching. This is just my thoughts. And yeah, this is just my thoughts. I'll see you guys all again next time. Bye.